There's a proven way to take the disadvantage that you have in business when comparing yourself to the big boys in your industry in terms of your local market, the businesses that you know are bigger than you, that have more lead flow than you. There's a way to take advantage of what you think is a crippling effect that you have within your business and actually turning it to benefit your company. So in this video, I'm going to show you two different things. One, the mindset, and two, the skill set that you're actually going to need to move past the fact that yes, businesses may have 50 plus more reviews than you. Businesses probably have a bunch more leads coming into them. Businesses have 20 plus years of more experience, 10 plus years of more experience, 5 plus years of more experience. But that does not mean that you cannot win jobs over their company. Speaking from personal experience, back in 2024, ran a concrete company. I have a completely different video out there explaining all the details. Fast forward 9 months. By the way, I don't know anything about concrete at the time. I've never been in the industry. I have no connections. Grew to shy of $500,000 while working full-time job while running another six-figure home service business. It's possible. If I can do it, I only did it to prove a point. I'm not going to go into details. I did it to prove a point that I could actually do it with no experience. And I did it. I shocked myself, and I promise you, I did not have a passion for the industry. And you, someone who has a passion for your industry, can do the exact same thing, especially if I have done it myself. So here we go. I want to show you the 3-step process that's going to take for you to move past the mindset and acquire the skill set that is needed to break the barriers, push down your competitors who have more experience than you, and actually move into a season of, okay, I am bringing in enough leads to where I can charge more premium prices, my profit margins can increase, and therefore I can make more money and I can make a bigger impact. So the very first thing that I want to do out of the 3 points that I want to make here is I want to talk about ads. Very, very simple ads. But before we can even run an ad, one thing that you need to know is you need to realize that there is a trust barrier between you and your competitors. I shouldn't even say competitors, I should say customers. So there's a trust barrier between you and your customers. And what this trust barrier looks like, and excuse my drawing, is essentially the easiest way that I like to think about it is every single time you run an ad to a customer, a cold audience, a customer who's never seen your company before, never seen your logo, or even someone maybe who has probably seen your logo because you do a lot of different other types of marketing or advertising, but they just don't know exactly what your company is or who you are, there's a fence up. And at this point right now, when they first see your brand, when they first see your company, they are simply just peeking over the fence. And the whole entire goal is to get them from peeking over the fence being literally right below eye level, as you can see here, to eventually we want to lower that trust barrier. We want to lower that fence to where they can simply just step over the fence and hand us money. That's what we want. That's the whole entire goal. We need them to lower their trust barrier, but the only way to do that is we have to do it ourselves to hand us money. Now, how do we actually do that? One of the best ways to do that is ads, and that's why this is the very first point I want to talk about. Now, when we're running an ad, first and foremost, before I even ran my first ad, I didn't have any tech experience. Now, I've been running ads for my own business for close to 3 years now, and I started out with no tech experience. And by the way, the whole entire Facebook and Instagram ad system back when I first started, it was a lot more complex. Now in 2026, it is a lot easier for an owner or a marketing team bringing it in-house in your own business for you to run your own ads than it was way back then. So there's really no excuse for you to do that. Plus, you're saving a ton of money in terms of marketing dollars paying to agencies. So you want to run an ad. And so what this ad is going to consist of is this ad is going to be extremely simple. You're simply going to show your face off by using your phone. That's it. You are showing your face off by using your phone. So what you're going to do is you are simply going to flip your camera around. You do not need a fancy camera. You do not need a fancy tripod. You simply could have someone literally holding the phone and recording you, or you could flip it around and record it yourself. And essentially what you're going to be doing is you're going to be showing your face. The reason that you're showing your face is because this is going to help this trust barrier right here go from below their eyes to ankle level to where they can hand you money. Because what's going to happen is people are going to see your face, they're going to see you, the business owner. They're going to think to themselves, oh, I know this person. And now they think that they know you before they've even actually met you in person. So that trust is already somewhat there. And the best way to do that is simply a video ad. So what is consisted within your video ad? This is actually a really important piece. So the first thing that you need to incorporate within your video ad is I would do it 100% either whether it's in your shop or whether it's on a specific project, right? You're showing off either company trucks in the background. You obviously have your company gear on. In terms of a shirt, you want to show off your logo as much as possible, create that trust, create that brand awareness. You have a truck in the background, maybe your shop, maybe equipment, maybe some workers. You literally do it live on a job site where workers are working behind you, or you do it on a project. Whatever it is, you're showing something off that you are actually in business. You are a business owner who has business, who has leads coming in, who has customers that are paying them. That is part of it. Step two is you want to actually attract eyeballs. The best way to attract eyeballs or clicks on your ad for people to call your company is to give them a reason to call you. So what we want to do is we want to create an offer, a jaw-dropping offer. And what this offer is going to consist of is you need to think about it from a customer's perspective in terms of, okay, if I'm a customer, what would be an amazing offer? Well, is it $150 off? Is it a 0% financing? What is it? What's an offer that fits your company, but is also very, very enticing for a customer if they're actually looking at your video? They want to click it and call your company. So you have to think about it. And what you're doing with this offer is you're just trying to attract as many eyeballs to your company as possible. This needs to be an offer that fits your company. That's it. You're running a Facebook and Instagram ad. You are running the ad and you're showing off your face, and then you are simply talking about a specific offer. That is literally it. Now, it'd be great if you can talk about your trust too. We need to create more trust. We need to lower that fence even more. So maybe you talk about all the reviews you have. Maybe you talk about how many years you've been in business, whatever it is. But even if you can't do that, that is perfectly fine. If you don't have a bunch of reviews, if you haven't been in business for forever, that is perfectly fine, because what's going to happen is this sets you apart from the people who have been in business for 20 plus years, because at this point they are stuck in their ways. They're like, I'm not going to show off my face on camera. I don't need to do that. I have enough leads. Well, guess what? That's great. Now we have an arm up on them because we're doing something that they're not doing. We are doing something, we're taking a step in the right direction that they're not willing to do. Which brings me to my second point, which is the actual customer journey. So what is the journey that you're taking each customer on? And this is super important. And this was overlooked in my company when I first started it. It was, I should say, my mosquito company when I first started. My concrete business, I started it right away. So for example, a customer journey is what's the process that you take each customer through when they call your business? We need to look as professional as possible, despite the fact that we don't have the 20 plus years of experience, despite the fact that we don't have 50 plus Google reviews. We need to look as professional as possible. An amazing way to do this is every time a lead calls your company is you take them through your customer journey. And so what this journey is going to look like, and it looks different for every single company. For example, my concrete company in 2024, every time a lead called me, I scheduled out a phone call. Now, obviously, this phone call was, if I didn't happen to answer my phone, which, guys, answer your darn phone, I would shoot them a text instantly. I had an automation put in place, and then we'd schedule out a phone call. Hey, sorry I missed your call, or hey, sorry I missed your call. Here's a text. Here's my schedule. I send them over my schedule, and they can actually book a call on my schedule. They'd simply schedule out a call. We'd hop on the phone, and then from this phone call, we would come over here, and if we had time, we would go through a deep dive of their project. If they didn't have time at that point and it was just kind of like a, hey, do you do concrete projects? Whatever it may be, if it needed to be a short conversation, then I'd schedule out an official call. And on this call, I was actually giving them a price, so I didn't have to drive out to their property every single time. I really got to know their project. Like, this call was anywhere between 25 to 45 minutes, tops an hour. And I'd really just deep dive into the project. It helped me not waste time, because if I actually had to go out and drive to every single project, I wouldn't be able to get to every inbound lead. So I had to, every time a lead came in, I actually officially answered the phone, and then I scheduled out a call, a phone call. before I actually drove out to the project. And then when this customer agreed whether, oh yeah, that's in my ballpark, that's kind of what I was looking out for, that's what I was expecting, then we would proceed in the very next step in the customer journey. What the next step was an in-person appointment. And what this in-person appointment consisted of is it was essentially for me to confirm that everything we went over on the phone was the exact same in person. If not, now it's your chance to tell me, because guess what I'm going to do on the job? Or guess what I'm going to do in the in-person estimate? I'm going to have you sign the quote. And then from there, I'd send over the official quote. And then from there, we'd schedule the project. That was my customer journey. Now it looks different for every single business. And plus, in between here, let's just say for some reason, which happened quite a bit, my closing percentage was well below 10%, and that's typical. And the reason that this customer journey was so robust, while I'd schedule a call and then while I'd go in person, then send them over official quote, then invoice, blah, 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 schedule the project, is because I was dealing with larger size projects, anywhere between $5,000 to $35,000 in residential work. Those are bigger projects. Those take a little bit deeper dive into why they actually want the project and getting to know them as the customer and their project for them to feel comfortable to actually partner with me, despite me not having reviews or anything like that. Now, the process in my mosquito company, it looks a little bit different. This process specifically is a lot simpler because I'm dealing with my average project size is around $500 for a mosquito service. So what this looks like is a lead comes in, and then when this lead comes in, I'm simply on the phone with them, and most of them have time because it only takes about 15 minutes for me to actually look at a Google Earth, and I give them a quote right there on the phone. Obviously, I get to know their project. I ask them intentional questions. I'm not just like, hey, give me your address, here's the price. I'm actually intentional about it, right? I still need to set myself apart from my competitors. And then, depending on if they say yes or no, if they say yes, then I do in person, and then in person I'm having them sign the quote. I want to make sure that everything went over the phone is the exact same in person. Your property is not bigger, or you don't want me to spray this portion of your yard, whatever it is. It's pretty darn simple. And then I schedule them out on the company calendar. Schedule them out. Schedule. It's that simple. So what does the customer journey look like for your company? And really the reason that we're doing this is because we need to still set ourselves apart from our competitors. The chances that bigger companies are doing this are actually pretty likely. Like, they're bigger companies for a reason. But at the same time, it may not be, because people don't take this part serious. People get very complacent when they've been in business for 25, 30 years and they're satisfied with where they're at in business. They get very, very complacent. So we need to do another step in the process in determining how to set us apart. Now, the reason I also like the customer journey and the systems that I have in place, by the way, it's all automations too. Like, there's so many automations that are put in place here. Like, there's so many things happening in between these as well. Like the follow-up system. I'm following up every single time I don't hear from someone when I send them over a quote. I'm following up a day after, 2 days after, 3 days after. Then I'm giving them a phone call. Like, I'm staying top of mind because people are humans. They forget. So there's so many different caveats in between the customer journey that I'm still taking, but these are just the basics. And that brings me to step number 3. What's the third way that we're actually going to set apart from our competitors? And it's very, very simple. It's literally be you. Crazy, isn't it? Be you. People buy from people they like. People buy from people they relate to. That's just the way it goes. For example, maybe you have a social media page, a business page, which you should, a Facebook, an Instagram page. Post on there not just projects, but you, the business owner, showing off your personality, showing off your likes and dislikes. Now this isn't a page where I'm going to go and I'm just going to post all sorts of different random stuff. I want to mainly to be about business, but I want to show off me, the business owner, show off me, my face, my company, the people that work within my company, my family, my wife, my kids. I'm family oriented. Like, for example, for me, I would be showing off my family. It's a big part of my life. I would be showing off my personality, so kind of like the sarcastic side of me. I would also be showing off my interests, which are hunting and sports. I would show this off in a nonchalant way. I'm simply posting here and there on Facebook. Like people, if they were to scroll my business pages, they know that, hey, he's a family guy. He's got a good personality. He likes sports. He likes hunting. He likes being intentional. So I want to show this off. I literally just want to be myself because guess what? Nobody can compete on personality. Nobody can compete with you and who you are. Who is your personality? You can't compete with it. The people that try to blend into everybody else are the people that are not going to be able to stand out. Be you. It's that simple. So once again, these are the 3 steps. We literally have be you, we have the customer journey, and then we have simple ads, showing off your face to your customers, running an ad, funneling people to your business, lowering that trust barrier. If you found value in this video, I want you to actually join a group. So what this group consists of is I'm going to show you exactly how to set up an ad and launch it and get your first paying customers paid ads if you've never ran paid ads before. If you have ran paid ads, this is still going to be very beneficial for you. It's going to go through templates, exactly step by step in 26, how to actually set up and launch ads. It's going to go through how to set it up the correct way, what to look out for, what to actually do in order to make sure when you launch your ad, it's successful from the start. And so what I'm going to do, in the description below, I'm going to leave a link to that. It's 100% free. It's a free training just for you. It's a community of other home service business owners just like you who are looking to actually grow their business with ads and also leave an impact on their community. So once again, that is in the description below, and I will see you on the next video.